Boom, baby, we are live. Welcome to the Tokyo Crypto Show, episode 117. The Tinder Swindler has got busted again, and we're going to talk about that today on today's show. You're not going to
Oh
miss out
shit!
on
Where do
that.
I have you? I have you in my ear somewhere else. God damn
Oh, really? One of your mythical tabs are open. The many tabs.
it! Yeah, I think I have your show on somewhere. But say something again.
Check. 1 2 1
Oh
2.
no, I delete. Okay, it was just a delay on the audio side from my one that's on the
Good
other
stuff.
screen.
So,
All
welcome,
good.
guys. Welcome to Tokyo Crypto Show. I'm joined here by Charlie from CultivateCrypto.com. How you doing today, Charlie?
Yeah, things are good. Things are good. May the Tinder Swindler be brought to justice for all his misdeeds. But yeah, no, it's I just think today's topic is fun. It took 113 episodes for the Tokyo Crypto Show to have an earthquake, right? So that was
Jesus.
inevitable. I think it's taken about 117 shows before it actually makes sense why we're on a dating platform / masculine improvement platform plus cryptocurrency. Everybody when we started was like, what the hell is that mix? Well, we finally got a topic.
Yep. We finally have a reason when our worlds combine. So we got a guy swindling chicks on Tinder, and it's linked to cryptocurrency. So who's the better dynamic duo to handle this? We got two experts in this industry, and we're here to give you critical analysis on this situation.
And exactly how it's going to affect the markets. I think this is bigger than Luna's Do Kwon, buying a couple million dollars of Bitcoin every few days.
Yeah, they are dropping some serious cash on that, man. Isn't Korea all about Luna as well? They're digging it out there.
Yeah, Do Kwon, the guy who founded Luna, is Korean, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Well, we're going to talk about this today. We got a lot going on. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Ethereum, and then we're just going to jump into today's articles talking about the situation. And the reason is this, because I know a lot of people are still watching us who are not fully involved in cryptocurrency yet. You're kind of sitting on the sidelines wondering what to do, right? Today's episode is going to educate you and let you know exactly what can happen to you if you let the government know you have Bitcoin and they know you're not paying taxes on it. And you're also going to see a variation of laws based on country to country. You're going to see a lot more crypto crime units go up, and they're going to basically, this is just another revenue stream for the government to go after. So we're going to teach you how to play it safe, play it right, and so you can stay out of jail. So if you drop the soap, it's a minor inconvenience, not a big one. Charlie, what do you say? You want to look at the market, see where we're going?
Yeah, we can do that. I'm just organizing a couple things here. Hold on a second. There we go.
Helmo's in the house. I got summoned from hell to tell you lazy ones to hit the like button or get rugged. Thank you, Helmo.
I like it.
Fresh out of California.
Yeah, hold on. I think I got everything going here. Let's go over there.
Boom gang, shout out to you, Extra Guac.
Yeah.
Good to have you guys. Ruben Saldana. I guess that's a Brazilian last name. Hello, fellow Moon Gangers. What's up, big guy? Wade Emery, what is up? Shout out to you. Nice. Here we go. Chart time.
You can see it all?
Yep. Bitcoin US dollars, 1 day chart.
Perfect. All right. So, we basically have what looks to be another left translated cycle here, meaning the high that we got on this 60-day cycle was before day 30, right? The midpoint of the 60-day cycle. And we did get a shortened cycle last time. Either way you slice it, you can put the low here, which is an actual low in price, or you could put it here based on time, right? It's a little bit of a better fit, but I like to go with the price-based low, unless like there's a necessary need to go for the time-based low, meaning it's like totally very, very different. But anyways, on the cycle right now, we're currently on day 37 of the 60-day cycle. So to be honest, a lot of these bearish cycles, I would say maybe about 50% of them have shorter than 60-day cycles on average. So that's just a rough guesstimate. So like having another low come in here usually I would say the low would be between day 45 to day 60, right? But the last one happened a little sooner. But if we just say 45 on average, right? we could be going down for like, let's say another week. I don't think that's going to be the case based on the short-term pattern that we have in here. I do think we're going to get a bit of bounce here, but you can see ever since we broke this downtrend here, we've just been kind of crabbing around sideways, right? So we've had, here and here as a significant move to the upside. This one was just Bitcoin and Ethereum. This one was the entire market. But then we've also had, 2 moments where the market gave it back. But the thing that's interesting about this is the lows here, right, are so far higher lows. And so the one thing you want to watch for here going into a potential cycle low, this could also be a mid-cycle low if you kind of bring it to where day 30 is, right? It's come right into the middle of the cycle. And so if we do get a bounce here and we do go slightly higher, I could see something like this happening where, Bitcoin kind of, I think there's a little bit more downside to go, and then it bounces and then just ever so slightly higher, maybe hitting that 52K mark here.
Right.
And then going into a proper cycle low and then continuing the next cycle with a bullish move to the upside. I think something like that is possible. So yeah, one thing that people can watch, I mean, this is correlated right now, not always, but right now there's some decent correlation between the stock market, Bitcoin, and obviously the DXY, which is a representative of the dollar.
Right.
So if you watch the DXY, I could maybe pull that chart up real quick, actually. I don't look at it all that often, but it is helpful in some cases when Bitcoin's kind of just crabbing around. You can see it's up here at 100. It's had a pretty bullish move over the last few days. But you can see it's been playing before it took its breakout, right? It had been playing basically in this channel.
This is just the dollar itself getting stronger?
Yeah, this is basically a representative of the US dollar. So right now the dollar is getting stronger. And so
I've noticed that with the conversion rates over here into the yen has kind of been kind of slowly going down a little bit. They talked about it on Twitter the other day.
Okay. Yeah, the yen kind of does its own thing, which is interesting. But yeah, it's been going up pretty steady, right? And it had that kind of channel that it was forming here, and it's broken to the upside of it. I think let's see here, 99, 97, maybe like a 2-point move. So yeah, it's probably going to move to like 101 first, right? Maybe up to this area. And then the area on the downside that it needs to break is this 97 or 98 low area here. If it does then start turning over and go below there, then that would be a somewhat positive thing for not just Bitcoin, but the stock market and all assets. So that's something to pay attention to. It's not the be all end all, but it's just a little bit more of a wind in your sail type thing. And then, if you do go over to the S&P, I guess we can do the 500. You can see just, since January here, there's a bit of a downtrend, a bit of a bounce. If you go to the daily chart, some of the more recent bouncing, I would say from late February is kind of similar to Bitcoin's price. You kind of see here, like it had a pretty good downtrend into February 27th, whereas Bitcoin's low was actually here on the 24th. So they're not extremely correlated. Bitcoin held up and actually went up when this was going down. But then this having a bit of a bump here and then a run basically is very similar to what we saw on Bitcoin. If we go take a look at that on the daily, you can kind of see not exactly the same, but you got a bounce here and then a run and a down period. So it seems like since the end of February, Bitcoin's followed the S&P for a bit. Before that, they were less correlated. So it's all kind of an on-off relationship. It's not always the case. So it's just something to pay attention to now because those two factors could shift Bitcoin's price, but they could also not be all that relevant. I just think if nothing too negative happens in the stock market, that's probably good for Bitcoin.
Right.
And if the DXY gets really strong, that's probably not a good thing, but as long as it's kind of staying in the same place or trending down a bit, that would be helpful. So that's basically what we got going on here. So we just, I would say we probably will have a very good idea just in the next couple of days what's going to happen here. I think personally that Bitcoin is going to come down just a little bit more. maybe test close to the cycle lows, but not quite, maybe about like 38,000 or so. If it does, I would say the areas to watch on the downside is if it does break the current cycle low, right, that is probably going into a low on that 60-day average, but it could be a shorter one. And then the next low here to watch is right here. I don't expect Bitcoin to go any lower than this low or this low. If it starts going below here at this is at 35,000, and then starts going below here at 33,000, that would tell you that Bitcoin's most likely going to go into the high 20Ks, probably like 28, 29K, which would then just be, kind of similar to what we had over here in terms of price. But the one interesting thing you can see, and I mentioned this on my show yesterday, is the low here last summer. It's kind of a mirror image to what we're getting here. So here you kind of see slightly higher highs and significantly higher lows. Here you saw a low, lower low on the daily, but not on the wick, right? And then with a little bounce in the middle, but mainly a downtrend. So this was kind of down. This is basically up. So you can kind of see that that's opposite. And the other thing to understand here is that when Bitcoin's price was in this range, it was much more, at this time, it was much more dangerous and likely that it could go into the mid 20K region. I think my lowest possible price was like 24K on this one. And the reason why that would be more probable than now is because we didn't have that much price history in this region, only this period of time here in January, February of 2020.
And that's when all that funny money was hitting the market too.
Yeah, exactly. In early 2021, right? That happened all throughout 2020 and into 2021. And then, we held up that area. And so I highly expect that this whole area will hold up much, much better than it held up here. And I do think this area right here, right, plus this area here are the lows on Bitcoin. Not saying that as like 100%, it's got to be the case, but just by the way the pattern looks, by the amount of history that we have at these prices right now, the base that we're creating here before more upside, it just seems like, I'd be a little bit surprised if it broke these areas, but then again, it would probably happen pretty quick. So either way you slice it, it's really not that bad. The longest and most patient time for Bitcoin has passed. So we're at least in the second half of this kind of little bit of a consolidation marathon on Bitcoin and the rest of the market before then we pop, up. I think what's going to happen is we pop up, kind of come close, then we come back down again, and then probably towards September, we get like a really, really new all-time highs, crazy, euphoric run. But in the meantime, there's plenty of good stuff that happens. So, I mean, if we pop up here from 39K to like 59K or so, right, or 69K over basically quarter two, right, we kind of hold up, come a little bit further down, hold above those lows, and then kind of like this, to come down a bit, hold above these lows. Right, kind of the scenario I said before, kind of go something like this for the cycle. Then in the next cycle, then make, the more aggressive moves up here. And that would probably be May through June. And then you'd see maybe a bit of a rejection here going into, August or July, August. And then, some more consolidation. And then finally, you take off from here. You start hitting new all-time highs and things get really crazy. So that's kind of what I'm looking at this year. But,
when was the last time Bitcoin was over 50K, Charlie?
Last time Bitcoin was over 50K was last year in December, basically.
Oh, wow. And the highest we got was what? This year, all-time high was what? So
we hit that 200-day moving average, which is, the price at that time was 48 to 30 something.
Yeah. I think 50K is a big psychological barrier.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you can see the 200-day moving average here, right, was holding as support for a bit until it broke, and now it's going to be resistance. So we're going to probably have to hit the 200-day moving average. Like here, I have it hitting another time, breaking down below it, and then finally breaking through. So you have to take a couple knocks on the 200-day moving average.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes, sir. Bitcoin is... what's it? Mary Swanson.
Samsonite.
Yeah. And so, there's not too much difference here with Ethereum. Ethereum is a bit of a cleaner look. It came a little bit above its 200-day moving average, but basically just knocked back down, but holding above here. So especially if you go to the weekly, and we just kind of see that Bitcoin's under its 50-week moving average, it's under its 20-week moving average. It's either even under its 12 EMA there, right? This orange line here, it's under there. Whereas with that's Ethereum, right? So Ethereum's just starting to break down below that area. So that's like short-term bearish. And then if you go to Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin is much, much further down the line here to the downside. So there is, more, what do you call it? Momentum for the bears here, but just based on the long-term price history and, in the area of price that we're in, I do think we'll hold up. So it'd be interesting to see. But anyways, Bitcoin here's a lot further down. The one interesting thing here, if I just kind of, let's see here.
I will say that Ethereum is proving to be quite the investment, even coming out of 2021.
Oh yeah. No, Ethereum's definitely where it's at. So you can kind of see this trend line here if you go off the lows, right? That would be the area you want to see Bitcoin hold above, which does basically line up with being above where the current 60-day cycle low is. But yeah, no, Ethereum has been a trooper, right? And I would say Ethereum's like the easiest investment ever. You just, if it goes down to 2,800, I would say start scooping it up. If it goes down to like 2,000, shit, grab as much as you can.
Yeah, I mean, it did flirt with 2,500 earlier this year. I mean, even lower, right? So
yeah, I think the lowest this year was around 21.
I still think it's like buying silver to be kind of comparing it to precious metals.
Yeah, in a way, except for way better. So yeah, it was. But yeah, anyways, Ethereum. I think any dips on Ethereum are significant. Opportunities for people. And so, the crypto mindset course for Q2 coming out, we're going to play both the up and down side in terms of we're going to use the dips to get some nice juicy buys. And we're also going to, use the upside momentum that we got slightly going here, right, to ride the market a bit. So the other thing you can take a look at here, right, is the total 2. This is the total market cap for all of crypto minus Bitcoin. And the thing you can see here is from the last up move that it's had, it did hold here right around that 0.618, which is kind of the golden ratio Fibonacci level. It did try to come down to 0.786, right, which is kind of the last level before you turn from an uptrend to a downtrend. So it's been holding up quite nice. I expect this to hold up above the 0.618, so probably above 1 trillion, which shows most of the move might be over. But there might be one more week of price around this region before I think this comes back up here, which means the altcoins in this case would be getting more money coming into their system. So the altcoins pumping up, probably Bitcoin hitting a low and pumping up, Ethereum doing the same likewise, which I don't think a lot of people expect right now. And if we go over here to Bitcoin dominance, this is the opposite of the total 2 chart here, which we just need Bitcoin dominance to stay low, basically stay under 42%, which it's been doing here for a while. And if it does that, then altcoins are going to do well, Bitcoin's going to do well, Ethereum's going to do well. And then likewise for the total 2, holding above that 0.618, everything's going to do well. And then if we just kind of pull a trend line across here, you can also see it doesn't have a lot more downside if it's going to respect, this type of trend line here, which I think it will. So yeah, things are looking like probably going to pinch to the upside here in a bit. But yeah, some patience will be needed for that. So that's, you're muted.
I think last year and this year are really waking people up to the reality of the cryptocurrency market, because last year a lot of people were super spoiled. I don't think they realized how spoiled they were with the crypto mindset course and just the free plays, and then just like the literal multiple 7-figure portfolios that were generated through the advice and education received in the crypto mindset course, right? And then obviously we do not give financial advice. We just educate you on the markets and let you know exactly what is available. But now, it's a little bit more, you got to be a little bit smarter to make money now. Now, if you're making money now you're a smart trader.
Correct.
You're a smart cryptocurrency trader. if you're making money last year, listen, everybody's making money last year. It is what it is. But that's just the nature of the bull market. So the market has kind of regressed a little bit now, and we are just going to have to take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, we have threat of, first the whole year start off, we're going back into COVID lockdown, but then Vladimir Putin cured COVID with a war, and now we are, dealing with the whole Ukraine situation on the global standard. Lockdowns are coming out of lockdown. Korea on the 18th, which is in 5 days, is removing all mask mandates. They're removing all vaccine mandates. They're getting rid of all this stuff. It's happening around the world as well. Places are just opening up. Even here in Japan, they're not as meticulous about the mask and stuff anymore. So the world economy is going to start picking back up. Even the big companies, like, the big banks and stuff, they're starting to enact their back to the office policy. Have you heard that? Like they're slowly bringing people back in like 3 days a week, and then after a little bit 4 days. And they're
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that in Japan. I wasn't so sure elsewhere.
Yeah, well, some employees are fighting back, which they should. But to be quite frankly, the CEOs wants them back in the wage cage.
Oh yeah,
And they
well,
know they perform better at work.
Yeah, the Japanese are much more likely to fall into line with that much quicker too. So I don't. It probably won't be too long here before people are back at the office the majority of the time.
Yep. Well, Money Mike says back to McDonald's. You gotta
Yep. Yeah, P. Willie's been there a while. Yeah, it's pretty funny. The other thing I was going to say about the crypto mindset course, right, is not only is it not necessarily financial advice, right? We give you guys our opinions on stuff, but we want to make people independent too, right? We want to make people be able to do their own research, be able to look critically at stuff and make their own decisions. I think, most people expect a service to just basically, tell me this and I'll make money, right? And it's like,
right.
You gotta use that gray matter that God gave you between your ears, right? A little bit. Well,
that service is coming too. Tell me what to make money with. We're coming out with something as well. So
we'll get the Neuralink out, and everybody will be geniuses. So yeah, we'll all arbitrage the market with our Neuralinks. How about that? But yeah, no, I think today is just kind of a fun show. As well. I mean, we'll give serious advice and information in here too, but you got to meme your way through life a little bit. But yeah, man, this subject, there's a couple, I guess the twist on today's subject, and I think somebody in the chat said, is this real? And if so, how will it affect the markets? Well, it's bullish, sir. But there's actually two Tinder swindlers, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just kind of funny to see. But yeah, if you want some good lols, we can get into that. Otherwise, if you had other questions about the market that we wanted to talk about first, we could do that. So either or.
Yeah, if you have any market questions, $20 super chat and above, just for us to derail the show, and then we're gonna go right into it. So let's pop those articles. Charlie, you want to send those to me too, by the way, in the private chat?
I can do that.
But yeah, we got a great show for you guys. Now, this is just more of a general education on cryptocurrency, because look, the reality is this: when you're making a lot of money in cryptocurrency and you don't know the laws of your land, and they force you to do KYC, then you're going to have potential problems with the law, and things can happen with you, taxation, you name it. I mean, it just tons and tons of bad stuff can happen. So you got to be pretty smart about what you're getting into.
Yeah, I always liked. I would say go listen to some early Andreas Antonopoulos. Andreas Antonopoulos has some really good ideas about security. Even if you were in, like, let's say, an authoritarian state like China
or America,
soon to be. So yeah, there's I would say probably the most interesting way for people to encrypt their private keys, right? Is probably through images. Now you can take that whatever way you want, but essentially, right, all that Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency is an alphanumeric code, right? I mean, we mentioned that on the first Tokyo Crypto Show. You ran a good piece on that, and then basically, you can take the code, right, or you can take the letters and numbers, and you can put it into an image of a pixelated image. You could do it on a painting if you really got creative, right? You could do it on an NFT. I don't know, just spouting some ideas here. And, you could send that to other people as long as people know where to look for the key and have the basically encryption code to decrypt it. you can send that Bitcoin around, right? Or you can decode it yourself later, which is kind of interesting because remember the show Billions?
Yeah.
So the last episode, I think it is season 6 that just finished. The last episode was called Cold Storage, and the hedge fund manager there, who's a billionaire, basically had a bunch of cryptocurrency for a project, all in his cold storage, and it was either basically, I won't give away the ending, but it's, for anybody who's watched that, but essentially it's either the guy who is the hedge fund manager goes to jail, or it's the guy trying to prosecute him because he got the cold storage devices kind of fraudulently or whatever. But it's just kind of interesting to see right now, kind of in the mainstream media, in people's general thinking, they're starting to think about these things, right?
Yep.
And yeah, I just think that's kind of interesting because there's still, I would say, a lot of misinformation out there. And when you read these types of articles about the Tinder Swindler doing this, and people trying to get away with crypto, it's like, well, like it's a public blockchain and it's really easy to follow, right? So like people thinking that crypto and Bitcoin is just for criminals and stuff like that, I think is like pretty outdated, but the media still likes to spin that story.
Well, that's just their archaic way of doing things, right? They still think marijuana is bad and all that stuff.
Oh God, I could pull up this article on my Twitter today. It was freaking hilarious. It's basically just the misinformation or the lack of knowledge by, I would say, most people.
Aren't wages in the house. This is wage cage. What did I miss? We're just saying that the big companies like the JP Morgans, the Deutsche Banks, the what's the famous one? Goldman Sachs,
right.
All these are slowly whipping their wages back in their cage. So they're going to do hybrid work starting, like, I think, they slowly are inching them back into it. There are people fighting back, which I think is good, that they should fight back. I just think it's better for the planet, like,
well,
people,
I think
less people commuting, stinking up the streets and just, all these fucking just shit. The morning rush that you and I don't have to deal with anymore.
Thank God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
No, I get what you're saying. I was going to say something on that, but I just kind of forgot, but it is what it is. But yeah, the thing that I was going to pull up here, which is freaking hilarious. This is an actual news article here about crypto. Take a read of it.
There he goes. The average Bitcoin investor is a calculating psychopath with an inflated ego, according to scientists. I mean, 50% true, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they just had only one sample, which was Peter McCormick. So, maybe a little bit skewed, or maybe that's just what they want to avoid people from becoming. But if you just kind of pull up this article and actually read it, it's like, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's just as ridiculous. Basically, this is the media, right? Spinning, Bitcoin bad, Orange Coin bad, and giving just the most ridiculous, like, if you actually understand cryptocurrency and you just read this, it's like the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard. But I didn't even take that quote out of context, right? So I'll just read a couple paragraphs here just for a good lull. But the average Bitcoin investor is a calculating psychopath with an inflated ego, according to scientists. A team of experts recently surveyed more than 500 people to uncover the personality traits that are most common among crypto nuts. They identified that many investors exhibit signs of the dark tetrad, a group of 4 unsavory traits made up of narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and sadism.
All right. Sign me up, baby. Give me some crypto.
I guess crypto degenerates taking on a whole new meaning.
Yeah. Well, they talk about the dark triad in dating, which is psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism. And I think there's a lot of those characters in cryptocurrency who are starting their own coins.
Well, of course, but there, so is there in Wall Street, right? I was.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
per capita probably rule New York City.
We got our own set of psychos in crypto. Don't worry.
I would say they mix a little more autism into that mix more so than anything. So, freaking P. Willie.
Oh man, let's go into today's article. Let's read it. Okay, so we're gonna read about our boy Simon. I gotta say, I truly enjoyed the Tinder Swindler. I really didn't have an ounce of regret for the chicks or anything that happened to them. I was like, that's what you get for trusting a stranger from Tinder who invites you in a private jet. Like, you're not that special. And if you think that you're the only girl he's talking to, if he has a private jet and he's on Tinder, you're delusional. So I kind of like, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of karma. Those girls' egos got the best of them. That's my perspective.
But I was so innocent, John. I didn't know.
Right. I know I'm supposed to cry and feel sorry for them, but it's like, you're an adult. You made a choice. You made an ill-informed choice. Your family members told you not to do it. Your friends told you not to do it, but you still did it. Yeah. Oh well, now you're on a documentary.
It's like that guy, hanging out the van and say, "Hey, you want some candy?" It's like, no, run the other way. Like, it's basically the same situation, right?
Chuck M says, MLD, well, I learned these skills if I get your course. Yes, go to the masculineempowermentnetwork.com. We'll make you the next Tinder swindler. Let's read the article. Okay, so we got our article here with our boy Simon.
You can pull it up on your side, right?
I'll pull it up here. So we got here our boy Simon. He says the Tinder swindler breaks silence, claims to be a Bitcoin OG, no swindling involved. Simon, the Tinder swindler Lviv, said in an interview that made money after buying Bitcoin in 2018 and don't have time to scam anyone. Okay, so Simon Lviv gained fame after the documentary The Tinder Swindler went viral on Netflix a few weeks ago. This article is from February 24th, so it's a little older.
Yeah.
The media claims he made his fortune by taking advantage of women he met online, but in a recent interview, he claimed to get rich with a more straightforward method, investing in Bitcoin. In an interview,
I'm sure he did.
In an interview for Inside Edition, Simon Lviv, whose real name is Shimon Hayut, said that unlike what the media portrays, he was an entrepreneur who bought Bitcoin more than 10 years ago and got rich simply by hodling the coin. So I'll tell you this. I'm gonna go back out. So people like this guy, okay, these people lie till the day they die.
Yeah. Exactly.
This guy, he is scamming until the moment like life leaves him. I don't believe this dude for 1 second. But when you have these I've met these kind of scamming types multiple times in my life. And the thing is, when you check in on them later, they're just running some other scam.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how these people get through life, but
it's like, I guess those are the true psychopaths, right? So
this guy, but still, I don't believe a word coming out of his mouth. But they always seem to like cheat death. But hey, that's their life. Long Bitcoin. Simon Lviv had refused to talk about his life after the release of the documentary The Tinder Swindler. In the first interview, he was emphatic in saying that women accusing him of being a swindler were misrepresenting the facts. Lviv denied being the son of a famous businessman in the diamond industry and denied having presented himself that way to his Tinder matches. Deny. Despite versions claiming that he made a fortune of approximately $10 million from his fell gains, Lviv explained that it was all thanks to Bitcoin. That's pretty legit if he made $10 million, regardless.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, he's
scamming or Bitcoin
his way to the top.
That's a solid W.
And it's like, he's kind of taking advantage. I don't know, just a lot of the narratives on Bitcoin, right? And it's just like, oh yeah, this might be believable, but like, I mean, how does he think people are going to buy this hook, line, and sinker? It's like, yeah.
He says, I'm a legit businessman. I bought Bitcoin in 2011 which was then worth nothing. I don't need to say how much it's worth now, right? Anybody could say that these days to kind of cover their ass.
Exactly. I mean, it's total bullshit. So
Bitcoin was priced at about $30 a token during its 2011 peak and $1 at its lowest point of the year. If Lviv is telling the truth as of today, we will be talking about an investment with a baffling return between 233% and 3,549,900%. To make the 10 million they claim he swindled, he would have to invest 282 max at the time.
Yep. So you didn't have to invest. You wouldn't. I mean, if it's true, right? You wouldn't have to invest much. I mean, if you put $1 into Bitcoin back in 2011 ish, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
You'd have 1 to 3 Bitcoin, maybe more, depending on which
right.
time of the year you bought it. So, yeah, because Bitcoin during 2001 or 2011 was probably between like 6 cents to $1 and some
Mm-hmm.
change.
So, who is Simon Leviev, aka the Tinder Swindler? According to the documentary, The Tinder Swindler, Leviev used the dating app to meet girls and date those who filled specific profile of being basically middle-aged, financially independent, and prone to being manipulated with his tactics. Oh man, what a demographic target, huh?
Yeah.
During his encounters, he would entice his partners with dates in luxurious locations, flashing a supposed wealth that he justified by saying he was the son of a diamond mogul. After some time, he would contact his partners, making them believe that he was persecuted and threatened. Therefore, he could not use his credit cards to pay for his business and personal expenses. The partners would lend him money he needed eventually, and Lviv would disappear. The documentary producers obtained testimonies from 3 women conned with the same modus operandi. Lviv denied everything and did not even present his version of the events to Netflix. The girls have already raised $250,000 from the community, but now Lviv wants to clear his name. I'm not a fraud. I'm not a fake. People don't know me, so they cannot judge me. I'm the biggest gentleman in the world. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Oh, what a good guy.
Yeah, that is just, I mean, okay, so let me ask you this, Charlie.
Yep.
Have you watched The Tinder Swindler? Have you
Oh yeah.
watched it?
Oh yeah.
You watched it?
Yep.
You watched it at home by
I
yourself?
watched the whole damn thing. Yeah. I was like, this is gonna be interesting. So,
Oh man,
and
that
but
is funny.
I mean that I think it was in the middle of the movie or something like that, or the documentary, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Mhm.
He's like basically on vacation for the whole summer, with the second person that he's trying to swindle, while
Right.
the other person still thinks like, oh man, like just the blood diamond stars and all that were freaking hilarious. But it's just one of these things where it's like watching a scammer do their shit is just ridiculous. But um where was this? I think Pro Special made a good point here. Said he wouldn't be scamming chicks if he made that money with Bitcoin for sure.
Right, exactly. I mean, dude, listen, I don't believe him for 1 second, do you?
No. But yeah, Wild Bill Kerr. Looks like Wild Bill Kerr got into Rolo's Moonlion, or not Moonlions, Lions,
Red Lions?
Red Pill Lions NFT collection. So that's cool.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but yeah, it's just hilarious reading that shit. It's just like, yeah, I'm sure you did, bro. But yeah, like you said, anybody can kind of use that as a cover these days. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is.
Let's go to our second one. So we got another guy who's they call the Tinder Swindler of the UK. Check this guy out. This guy, he's a good looking guy. I could see how he could trick women,
Yeah. Tinder Swindler 2.0, I guess.
Yep. So a charming Tinder swindler who conned millionaires out of virtually £150,000 claims he hasn't paid her again, but as a result of he cannot entry his Bitcoin fortune. Okay. Richard Dexter was jailed for 4.5 years after he tricked sufferer Amrita Sebastian into believing he was a profitable businessman, having met her on relationship app Tinder. The suave conman boasts of being value 6.8 million pounds, having personal jets, being concerned in Hollywood studios, and shopping for a scorching air balloon simply because he might, duping her into sending him 141,500 Great British pounds. Jesus Christ, dude! Like gorilla pimp, man. Like that is
A
impressive,
lot of
dude.
money.
Charlie, I wouldn't even send you $1,000 unless I knew where it was going.
What about that Wolfgang Pucks we had the other day?
The
A couple of
Wolfgang was
those.
good. Wolfgang, that was like $300, but yeah, man. Jesus Christ, how much is that? Is dollars? Isn't that $200,000? That's got to be
It's
200,000.
close to 250 to maybe towards 300-ish, probably 250 to 270-ish, I'm guessing. So
Ridoku, he's a British man and he's watching us right now. He says that that's about 200K. So there you go. Jared Hidden says Nigerian prince is getting jealous. Oh man, God, I can't believe girls will do this. This is terribly sad. Anyways, let's continue. Dexter claimed he had 4.2 million Great British pounds tied up in investments. However, in actuality, there was simply 37 pence within the account, which wasn't even his. Yikes.
Wow.
2 months in the past, he was jailed. The 12 months previous from Portsmouth, Hants, he insisted he may pay Dubai-based government Miss Sebastian again against inside a day as he has 200,000 pounds in Bitcoin pockets. Jesus. However, listening at Portsmouth's Crown court docket, Hands was advised Dexter hasn't paid again something and has not. This is what is it? Is this proper English? This article is a little weird.
Yeah, it's terrible grammar. So I mean, you kind of have
Okay,
to fill in the blanks with this shit. I
has
mean,
not.
the
I'm
crypto
like, am I
potato being the
retarded?
source for our first news article that I don't know what website this article is from. It's like quality news sources, right?
No, it's all good. I'm wondering if I was just like being
No.
retarded and just don't understand grammar, or
Nope.
you're actually going somewhere. Anyways, okay, and has not been partaking with method. Dexter claims he has no entry into the obvious Bitcoin pockets and insisted I've acquired nothing extra offer except for the courtroom needed to grab a donut store he arranged. What the fuck? Grab a donut store you arranged? Huh? I have no entry to it. I've acquired no entry to any of my data or units, he advised the courtroom, including the Bitcoin fluctuates on the minute by minute foundation when requested in regards to the pocket's complete quantity. I think this means a wallet, not pocket.
Yeah, I think yeah, you can clearly see the person who's writing this article is barely getting through.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna read the other article because that one had.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's a little bit more clear on that one. But we don't have to read. You can just scan the main points on it. But
I wanted
yeah,
to
it's
show a
funny as
picture of the
fuck.
guy's face. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here we go. Apparently, he does have a donut shop. That's what it says.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's a nice investment. I feel like I would get fat if I owned a donut shop. Tinder Swindler can maybe pay in donuts, not Bitcoin. The father of two was summoned back to the UK court this week. In the hearing, Dexter claimed he had, quote, locked in a cell for 23 hours a day with no access to telephones or emails due to COVID-19, and he had no legal representation. I have nothing you can take apart from my shop, which probably won't last a month, the UK Tinder Swindler told the judge. Dexter is the owner of a donut shop called Sticky Boy in South Sea, Portsmouth, which opened its doors in January, just a month before he received a 4-year prison sentence. Damn. But
Yikes.
once Dexter was convicted, the shop closed. A slew of negative reviews poured in on Google, all bizarrely replied to by the shop's owner. Staying up all night replying to hater comments.
God damn it.
um, anyways, one reviewer named
Yeah.
Jim Lemon said he'd never thought he'd be disappointed by a donut, not even made fresh, limited choice of flavors, poor choice in drinks. The response from the owner: so disappointed by a donut you didn't buy from a shop you didn't visit that you felt compelled to post a 1-star review. Slow Thursday, Lemon. How about a lemon donut, Lemon? We'll keep all the tangy goodness and give it a sweet center just like you, but we'll make sure to avoid the sour and bitterness that can sometimes make a lemon unpleasant. Wow, this guy's funny,
A
man.
little tarded.
Yeah, what's funny? The Tinder Swindler also told the judge he had filed an appeal over his conviction when asked about his failure to pay back Sebastian with his 200,000 pounds worth of Bitcoin. Dexter claimed, I have no access to it. Cryptocurrency fluctuates on a minute by minute basis.
Which is no excuse for anything that just happened there.
Yeah, like I have no access to it. The price changes. That makes no sense.
Yep.
The judge
Oh,
then
man.
denied Dexter's request to adjourn the court hearing because the defendant was not being specific. Dexter is currently on bail under house arrest in South Sea from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. He can't travel internationally and will be formally sentenced on December 24th. Yikes. December 23rd.
Yep. So if you
So,
can't prove that if you can't open the Bitcoin wallets, this is essentially the same premise as the most recent Billions show that I was mentioning before. So if he can't open that, then he'll have to take 2 extra years in jail, apparently. So, but hey, maybe he'll be able to open it up afterwards then. So maybe he's like, yeah, maybe he is the actual Tinder Swindler with the actual Bitcoin, right, this time around. So it's kind of
this is
funny.
a great comment. Hanging Laundry says, why the hell would a rich, decent looking, well connected guy be on some rinky dink dating site? Exactly. But the girls that got conned,
Yeah.
they were just marks. They didn't think about it clearly. Like, if I meet a hot girl off of a dating app, I know I'm not the only guy she's talking to. Like if there's a mathematical probability, I'm pretty sure there's data at Bumble and Tinder that shows like how many times, girls talk to the same guy or multiple guys at once.
Mm.
So, I mean, to think that a guy who is rich, good looking, takes great photos, has a private jet, is only going to be interested in one girl. I mean, you kind of had this coming with your arrogance, you know?
Which is stranger, a girl believing this type of story and going with it and then getting swindled, or a dude who's like following an OnlyFans and then like pays like 10K to go hug the chick, and that's it. Like,
Mm,
wait, I don't know, man. They're both kind of like
yeah,
Jesus age. What's the world coming to?
yeah. It's Gemalade. She's our Scottish lady in the chat. She says, "I'm talking to 200 men right now. You go, girl. You do your thing." Yeah, it's funny to see that, but I think people don't realize how often scams happen. You know what's funny too? How often people don't go after the scammers after they get scammed. A lot of them just don't
Mm.
do anything.
Yeah. I think, well, I think in the documentary, one of the reasons for that is because the chick got like so crazy in debt, right? I think she got like 300K in debt.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, you get in that kind of hole and you're making, let's say, 50K a year. Kind of hard to go after anybody.
That's a tough cookie to crumble right there.
Yeah, it sucks. But I mean, yeah, just I don't know, man. Like these things seem pretty freaking obvious to me. I mean, one, it's like the Bitcoin send two get or send one get two back type deal. You see on YouTube every once in a while. It's like, how are these things still going? You get like Elon Musk and whatever, having some sort of video on YouTube and people saying, "Oh, send me one Bitcoin, I'll send you two back," and it's like some people just deserve to get scammed, I guess. It's one of those things. I don't. That being said, right, like there are some actual legitimate people. I did have out of the whole time I've been in crypto, I've seen one kid who fell for that send one Bitcoin, get two back. And the only reason why he fell for it was just because it was like the greed brain talking and he was like 19. So
Mm.
that was unfortunate to hear. But I mean, he didn't send a whole Bitcoin either, but he's just 19. So, but yeah, so sometimes the people who get scammed, it's like, oh, that sucks. But generally speaking, people are old enough to understand this shit.
Yeah, it'll
You would think.
Oh, Jim's got to clarify. She says, I meant this live chat. She's not talking to 200 guys on Tinder. She's talking to 200 guys in the live chat. That's okay. That's good. Good for you. Yeah, so that can show you right there that these guys, I mean, losing access to their keys, it just shows you how even the government can't really, like, because these guys going to jail for 4 years, and he's just like, oh yeah, I just can't access my coin because the price fluctuates. The judge is like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. The judge doesn't know the fucking difference. He's probably like 75 years old. He's probably just like, all right, sounds good, bro.
Yeah, man. So I mean, yeah, that's just a little thing there that can let you know what could potentially happen out there in the world, and just kind of shows you how the governments really are needing to play a little bit of catch up at this point when it comes to selecting the uh correct ways to go about getting people to participate in taxation with cryptocurrency, because a lot of people just really have no idea in the government at all. Like Elizabeth Warren was
Yeah.
drilling that guy and trying to make her point that you can hide Bitcoin and Putin could hide it, being very political, like trying to say because of Vladimir Putin this is why, and it's just like this is like
Right. It
lazy
makes no
manipulation.
sense.
You
Makes
gotta
no
you gotta
sense.
up your scam, lady.
Yeah, exactly. But people still fall for that as well, right? They're just like, because the government said it, it must be true,
Yeah.
right? Which is like the dumbest logic there is, especially in the day of how much propaganda we have. But I think so. There's two symptoms to these types of problems with the general public, right? A, right, there's some ignorance here which they fall susceptible to, which is unfortunate, right? When it's listening to the government, listening to these ridiculous FUD articles, stuff like this, right? Some people
Right.
actually believe all this stuff.
Right.
Now, I would say, should you feel bad for those people? Well, the main thing to get rid of that, right, is just simple education, right? People are not educated a lot about these topics, right? So, just generally speaking, I think a little bit more education goes a long way. And so, like, we want people to do well. We want people to be successful. We want people to avoid these things. But the general public's not going to, because the general public's not paying attention to information like this, right? And also, when talking about the government, people don't think quite as critically anymore. So I just think, generally speaking, should critical thinking come from you, or should it come from being taught or encouraged from society? I think it should come from the person. And if you can't engage that critical thinking aspect, within these types of situations, you got to either learn to do it, or you're going to get scammed. It's just the way it is.
Yep. I mean, there's a lot of people out there making some, and it's okay because it just is a testimony to how educated we are in cryptocurrency. But some people making some mistakes, and I'm just like, you did what? You sent your Ethereum to a Bitcoin address? Why? You didn't.
Right.
You couldn't tell just by looking at the address, but people can, and that's
it's
why.
super easy to educate yourself out of getting into a problem like that, right? It's like a
Yeah.
super simple thing that we do tackle in the course for people who might be newer.
Yep, and we got the crypto mindset course launching this Friday. We're going to be live on Charlie's channel, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Friday. Right after that, we're going to be on my channel. If you want to support me, come to my channel. You want to support Charlie, go to his. Regardless, the course is going to be a stellar experience and enrollment as usual. I think right now is really we're going to determine who's who in regards to who's really serious about making cryptocurrency gains and learning how to make money with cryptocurrency. Because right now, it's not exactly the sexiest time. If you're looking at it and you see what's going on now,
Right.
actually, it's very sexy.
Exactly. If you understand the situation, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. But if you don't, and you're kind of like waiting, for the people, I'm still thinking about that one guy I saw on Instagram who was like, yeah, don't buy Bitcoin, buy Pancake Swap token. And I was just like, we are at market highs right now. Like when I'm seeing retarded stuff like that being said, like we are, and that's around April, May that I saw that. And so we were at a pretty high point there, but we're gonna sit back and just wait for this last leg up, and then we're gonna be doing okay. Me and Charlie may disappear.
And for a short period of time now. Yeah, I think it's the market I'm pretty bullish on. Like we said before, the lows are probably holding up. We don't have that much more downside that's really all that possible or likely, right? And so if you understand that opportunity and then learn things that are keeping you out of crypto, or keeping you from doing well in crypto, maybe makes you, some of these things make you have a lot of mistakes, get a simple education on it, and yeah, that won't be a problem.
That's what we offer for you here at the Crypto Mindset course. That's going to do us for today, guys. We just had a quick little episode we want to chit chat with you about, let you know that, crypto is already in pop culture mainstream. And so, we're going to go ahead and continue educating the people because we have a lot of work to do. There are more non-moon gangers than there are moon gangers. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, send it to your friends or family who are interested in learning about crypto. It's kind of a light and fun topic to kind of get their minds wrapped around cryptocurrency and learn a little bit more about it, because this is an inevitable future for all of us. Charlie, got anything you say wrapping up?
Buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum. When in doubt, buy Ethereum. You'll be happy you did. My opinion, the current prices are similar to when Bitcoin was $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000.
There we go. All right, boys. Until then, we'll see you next time. Peace out.